Now at 6, we are following breaking news out of Japan, where at least 5 people are dead after a plane caught fire.
And undocumented migrants here in California now qualify for Medi-Cal. We'll have a reaction from local leaders. Plus, new concerns about a spike in COVID cases, where mask requirements are being reinstated.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for kind of welcoming in 2024 with us. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m. I'm Chris Groh, in for Eric Connor.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Yeah, glad you're starting off your year with us here on CBS 8. And we want to start with meteorologist Evan Irani. Things are changing in your forecast here soon.
That's right. Yeah, dry skies for today, so we can enjoy dry weather for at least, the first 2 days of the new year. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, more rain is in the forecast.
All right.
Yeah, so finally picking up on a more winter-like weather pattern out there. Take a look. 65 this afternoon along the coastline, 68 inland, partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies expected. It is tomorrow in particular that we start to see that wet weather arrive. We're also going to be seeing some high surf along our coastline. That continues from last week, 7 to 10 foot waves out there. Wind advisory in anticipation for that wet weather over the mountains. So we have that wind advisory, but if you look up to other parts of California, Riverside County, San Bernardino County mountains, including Big Bear and Wrightwood, they are under a winter weather advisory that starts early tomorrow morning with 2 to 6 inches of snow in their forecast. So you can see how we are anticipating that rain. Very, very good chance of it for tomorrow. And then climbing again for Sunday. We'll be able to pin down Sunday details with more certainty as we head through the later portion of the week. But coming up, we'll focus in on tomorrow and what we'll see here for San Diego County. Back to you.
Evan, thank you very much. San Diego Unified starting back up tomorrow, so a rainy start to the school year. We are following breaking news out of Japan right now. Take a look at your screens. Yeah, that's a big fire there. A plane caught fire on the runway of Tokyo's Haneda Airport. Investigators say the plane crashed into a Japanese Coast Guard aircraft. Still not clear why this happened. At least 5 crew members died in that. The other 379 passengers on that plane were able to get out safely. As for the pilot inside the Coast Guard aircraft, that person not injured. This is all the information we have. We'll be sure to bring you updates as soon as we find out more.
And another update here out of Japan. At least 48 people have died after a series of powerful earthquakes, the strongest measuring at a magnitude of 7.6. This is new video showing the damage left behind. The quakes caused buildings to collapse, roads to split, sparked raging fires, and triggered massive waves as well as tsunami warnings. Right now, around 1,000 military personnel are helping with search and rescue operations. You can see the video there of the actual shaking. They are helping with search and rescue operations. Officials are warning residents in some areas not to return to their homes, fearing there could be more quakes.
Yeah, and those homes were literally sliding side
tilting,
by side.
So
crazy. Yeah.
A lot of danger going on right now. All right. Well, it's officially 2024, and there are a number of new laws in effect this morning. California is now offering health insurance to undocumented migrants.
Immigration advocates are applauding this move, but others are not. CBS 8's Regina Yurita joining us live from downtown with reaction to what's new for this year. Regina, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And I can tell you that this new move is now expanding the access to 700,000 undocumented immigrants who didn't have full coverage. Before, undocumented people only had access to emergency services, but they didn't receive health insurance. So now most local officials are having concern about that. They're criticizing this new move. And I want to get to Supervisor Jim Desmond, who in a written statement in part quote said the county of San Diego is spending over $1 million per month on migrant services from local tax dollars earmarked for housing and homelessness. Our local resources are meant to address our community's needs, not fund services for those who have just entered our country. El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells also slammed the new move, saying our state faces an array of challenges, but instead of focusing on the needs of tax-paying citizens, it is placing illegal immigrants at the front of the line by providing free health care for undocumented immigrants. Public assistance has ballooned to become the second biggest government expense for the county of San Diego. Now, Medi-Cal is the state's health insurance program for low-income people. It offers access to primary and preventative care specialists, prescription medicine, and other services. The expansion now includes undocumented people between the ages of 26 and 49. It used to cover undocumented children, young adults, and seniors. DACA recipients say the state is moving in the right direction, but they believe there's still more work to be done.
A lot of undocumented people and, a lot of low-income people because they don't have access to these resources, they wait until the very end to hopefully receive some care, and by then it's too late. And we shouldn't have to have people, waiting until they're feeling ill to go to the doctor. We should have preventative care, and that's why this is so important.
And while they have expanded the access to medical care, Medi-Cal for undocumented immigrants, it's still unclear how many will remain ineligible for Medi-Cal because they make too much money or don't make enough for private insurance. That's latest here in downtown. Regina Urita, CBS 8.
All right, Regina, thank you for explaining that all. And there are also new traffic safety laws in effect starting now.
Yeah, and these laws are going to cover everything from speed cameras to what an officer can actually ask you during a traffic stop. So CBS 8's Alex Lai, she is out in Normal Heights right now. You have reaction from local drivers, Alex, but you're also breaking down what drivers need to be aware of, right?
That's right. Local drivers have a lot of reactions to these new laws. One of the new laws is when you get pulled over for a ticket, a lot of people hear the question, do you know why I'm pulling you over? Now, with these new laws, officers actually cannot ask you this question. They first have to tell you why they pulled you over before they can ask anything. And this is something that a lot of people are happy about.
Sometimes when you get pulled over and you don't think you did anything wrong, you still come up with things that you could have done wrong, so it's kind of self-incriminating.
I think it just takes any sort of vagueness out of the whole situation. Seems like the right thing to do rather than me copying to something. It's like, well, you tell me what you pulled me over for.
Also now in place, law enforcement will no longer be able to use expired vehicle registration as the only reason for pulling you over unless it's over 2 months. And they have to verify with the DMV that the registration is actually expired longer than 6 months before having it towed. Also, drivers in their 70s will no longer have to come in person to the DMV to renew their license and will be able to take their written test and vision test remotely. And while not in San Diego yet, cities like LA and Long Beach, as well as San Francisco County, will launch a 5-year speed camera pilot program to monitor and enforce speeding on local roadways. These fines would be based on how fast you were going. And back out here live in just about 30 minutes, we'll bring you some new reactions to one of these other laws. And so if you have any questions about these traffic laws or any of the other laws coming in for the new year, you can go to CBS8.com. All right, back to you, Chris and Netta.
All righty. All right. Well, thank you so much, Alex. And there are other state laws that are now in effect. Here are just some of them. Workers in California must now receive another 2 days of paid sick leave. The new law also expands the definition of that sick leave to include caring for a sick family member. Another law increases the minimum wage to $16 per hour, and it is now illegal for an employer to not hire or actually terminate an employee for using cannabis outside of work. And for more information on the new California laws now in effect, just head to CBS8.com.
And now we have an important update. 911 phone lines, they're back up and running this morning for Chula Vista and National City Police Departments. We are told technical issues knocked some of the emergency lines offline. This was Sunday night when it started. Both departments telling CBS 8 their phone systems have since been restored. They're once again fully operational. A pregnant woman is recovering this morning after she was hit by a large rock on the freeway. Now, the Oceanside Police telling us a man threw a football-sized rock from the overpass over the 5 at Bush Street on Sunday. The woman was riding in a car when it went through the windshield. It hurt her. Investigators say they saw David Avalos do it on surveillance video, so they arrested Avalos in a nearby canyon. The woman thankfully expected to be okay. Her unborn baby was not hurt.
Very, very thankful for that. Well, the Ocean Beach Pier took a lashing from the high surf over the weekend. We were there, got to see this in person firsthand. Now, lifeguards tell us that some of those powerful waves hit the Ocean Beach Pier, knocking down one of the pillars that holds it up. The pier had already been damaged from last winter storm, so this is only adding to it. As of this morning, it does remain closed, and they even had the section before the gate roped off there, trying to keep people away from the staircase that goes down to the parking lot. So that is going to remain closed, and all of that because of that damage.
Yeah, so many people were at the beaches
Oh, yeah.
to look at the
It was
waves. We did see quite a few surfers out there, like the pros, the really
Yeah.
good ones, having like the time of their life.
And when
but
we were there,
so
though,
hard to swim past all of
Right.
that. I don't know how they
I'm
did
no
it.
surfer, but it seemed to be too choppy at
Yeah.
some point. It just got too choppy where it wasn't even like
It's
sweat.
not worth
a
doing.
washing machine.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
swirling around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the photos and videos over the
know.
weekend on social media were
Wild.
incredible.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see. I mean, I am not a surfer, so for me it was watching from afar. But hey, for everyone who is delighted by high surf, we also want to deliver you the news that high surf remains through this week. So we have 7 to 10 foot waves through Thursday at the earliest. Seems like we could even see that high surf advisory extended into Friday. But for now, we're watching as high surf continues. Wednesday, Thursday, another high surf advisory in play. We're also watching for a wind advisory over the mountains in anticipation for wet weather. Tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be a wet day overall. We expect about 1/4 of an inch to come down, especially through the morning hours, more uniform through the morning, and then kind of breaking apart by the afternoon and evening. Back to dry skies for Thursday through Saturday. Another opportunity for rain back in the forecast as we get towards Sunday. Take a look at your temperatures out the door right now. It is a cold start to the morning thanks to the clear skies. Many 30s out there. Ramona's at 31 degrees. Julian is at 33. Mount Laguna is at 28 degrees right now. Coastline is mostly in the mid-40s, so jacket will come in handy. Over the last 2 weeks, we've had afternoon high temperatures right around average. Average is 66. Most days over the last week or so have been below average, and that will include today as we go for about 65 degrees as that high. Pacific Beach going for 62. La Jolla 62 as well. We'll take you up to North County. 66 for Oceanside and Carlsbad, along with Fallbrook, Vista, San Marcos. 50 for Palomar Mountain, and then over those mountains, pretty chilly. 57 for Julian, 50 for Mount Laguna on that afternoon high. Borrego Springs going for a high of 71 degrees. But looks like we'll be under sunny skies across most of the day today. See those clouds reconvene late tonight, and then it is tonight into early tomorrow that we'll start to see that wet weather roll in. Timing is around the morning commute for tomorrow. About 7 to 10 a.m. is when a lot of that wet weather will start to arrive. Let's take a look at traffic. It's 6:12 on the clock right now. So far, we're looking pretty smooth out there across San Diego County from the border with TJ all the way up through Oceanside. We only have one crash note that looks to be on the 805. CHP is on scene. We'll work to get more details, but not causing any tremendous backups right now on the 805. As far as border wait times go, looking pretty good too. San Ysidro Port of Entry, under 2 hours. Last week we were over 2 hours, so at about 1 hour 45 or so. Otay Mesa Port of Entry going to run you about 1 hour 15 in total. Back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. And still ahead here, the Israel-Hamas war enters a new phase. Why Israeli officials plan to pull thousands of troops from Gaza.
And lawmakers are getting ready to return to Capitol Hill after the holiday break. The top issues on their agenda.